Today we honor May 4th survivor Alan Canfora. We'll tell you how the university came together to celebrate his birthday.
How the community is reacting to the academic reconstruction plans Kent State is rolling out. The highlights from yesterday's discussion at the Kent Free Library.
Kent State will retain their R1 status, remaining high, and universities focused on research. What requirements did they need to meet, and what was changed this year?
Staying alive, how some of our favorite pop songs meet the CPR cadence, and how you can save a life. All this and more as KSTV at 6 starts right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good Thursday evening, Portage County. I'm Hayden Cruz, joined by Sydney Brown.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
We start local with a celebration from the May 4th Task Force.
Tonight they are honoring one of their trailblazers who led the protest opposing the Vietnam War. Alan Canfora is remembered by the community in honor of his birthday. Our very own Sophia Elena is in studio with more. Hi, Sophia.
Hey guys, Saturday, February the 15th marks Alan Canfora's 76th birthday, and to celebrate the life and legacy of now past Kent State's activist, the May 4th Task Force is holding a special event right now as we speak.
On May 4th, 1970s, students participated in an anti-war protest that left 9 injured and 4 dead. Images from the massacre spread quickly, including a photo of a man waving a black flag toward the National Guard. Alan Canfora, the man in the photo, still remains an icon to the Kent State community to this day.
He helped found the task force as a graduate student. He was involved in essentially every landmark in establishing some sort of May 4th memorial on campus and advising generations of student activists.
Tonight's event, hosted by the May 4th Task Force, features discussions about Canfora's activism while listening to music and making Valentine's Day crafts. The event goal is to honor Alan's memory in a special way while keeping his mission of the legacy and democracy alive.
We're going to start off with a presentation about Alan's life and all of the work that he did. We've got a playlist of all our favorite 60s and protest songs. So we'll have just a nice chill soundtrack. Just a fun night of learning.
Canfora spent 50 years fighting for justice. His work with the May 4th Task Force ensured that the events of the tragic day would never be forgotten. Tonight, Kent State students and supporters gathered to honor his contributions for the university.
It's so important that we humanize the people involved because it was so much more than just the action, the death, or the facts that you can share about what happened that day.
You can still attend Alan Canfora's birthday bash by going to the Student Center right after our show ends. For KSTV, I'm Sophia Elena.
All right, thank you, Sophia. Tonight, the Department of Africana Studies presents a screening of the ESPN 3430 film False Positive. The film is a documentary about the life and career of Olympic gold medalist and former 400-meter world record holder Butch Reynolds. The screening is part of the annual Oscar Ritchie Endowed Lecture Series. Immediately after, there will be a discussion with filmmaker and director Ismail Al-Amin and Butch Reynolds himself. You can head to the event tonight from 7:30 to 9:30 in Oscar Ritchie Hall.
On campus tomorrow, the Kent State Ballroom will be transformed for Global Safari Fest. Community members are invited to attend the free event where they will have a themed passport to track each of their spots around the ballroom. International Student Council and iHeart Travel Week will have different countries represented with a dish and a cultural performance. The event kicks off at 5 p.m.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Happy Valentine's Day Eve, everyone. I'm your weather anchor, Ryan Mead. Let's look at our weather currently and what is going on tonight and your holiday tomorrow. So right now it is 27 degrees in Kent. We got some off and on flurries throughout the night, and we got some heavy winds though. We have seen some projections of 30 miles per hour winds, but as of right now, there's only 16 miles per hour winds. And as you can see, the hourly forecast is 42% chance of flurries right now, which through the night I think could add up to a little bit around an inch. Not that much snow, but could cause some troubles. Around 9 p.m. it's going to end, and then it's going to become a lot colder. It's going to be around 19 degrees. Be cloudy tonight, and then it'll be around 19 degrees tonight. And tomorrow it'll be 28 degrees with heavy winds in the early morning. There'll be a mix of clouds throughout the day, but it'll be a relatively calm day. Snow will develop after midnight, and we'll have a massive storm that is going to go into Saturday and into Sunday, and we'll see more about that later. And there'll be a little relatively windy, but that's all I have for now, but I'll be back more later with more weather updates. Let's go back to our anchors Hayden and Sydney for more news updates.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Kent State University announced plans to reconstruct the academic programs this past fall.
The announcement came after a series of budget cuts were made by the university. These plans, called Transformation 2028, are still developing, but the community is now voicing their thoughts on the changes.
We now go to KSTV's Katie Waggle with more. Katie?
That's right, guys. Kent State retirees held a meeting at the Kent Free Library yesterday to talk about the issues surrounding Transformation 2028 and its efforts to reorganize the university's colleges and programs.
Association was very interested in is always interested in what's going on at the university, and I would say that this is one of the most important things happening at the university in some time. Because the university faces a lot of financial challenges given the fact that future enrollments are very likely to be much lower than they've been in the past. And
the session addressed various parts of T28, such as having the potential to help the university's debt issues. Guest speaker Deborah Smith discussed the future of advisors in departments outside of academic colleges, like the Honors College and the Wick Poetry Center. Smith emphasized how professors' layoffs would be the last case scenario and reiterated the original 5 plans for the reorganization.
Model. Then they were contractually required to consult with the FACs and the CACs, et cetera. But the amount of consultation was actually tremendous. And again, like Tracy, they definitely heard the faculty voice. They definitely changed the models in light of the faculty voice, but I don't know that they always understood what the faculty were saying.
As there's updates with Transformation 28, you can follow along online on kentstater.com. For KSTV, I'm Katie Waggle.
All right, thank you, Katie. Kent State will continue to be a very high research activity-based institution. The announcement came this morning. Kent will keep the R1 status first achieved in 2022. The classification's criteria are simpler than years prior, with at least $50 million in research expenditures and award at least 70 doctrines in research, a major difference from the 10 criteria from previous years. For more on this story, visit kentstater.com.
Impacting Kent State, the Ohio Senate passed Senate Bill 1 aimed at overhauling higher education in Ohio. Senate Bill 1 will ban diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts among Ohio public colleges and universities. The bill passed in a 21-11 vote after 8 hours of opponent testimonies and over 800 online submissions. Kent State has not released a statement yet about how the changes will impact the university.
February is American Heart Month. As part, the American Heart Association has been posting songs you can perform CPR to. Could your favorite song save a life?
President Trump announced more changes to tariffs, how this new order can affect the prices of your groceries.
Go to that.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Dad!
Okay, here we go, throw it!
Yeah.
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Nice.
Today, the world could use a little more understanding. Understanding nurtured by shared values. We come together at Kent State. Different dreams, different viewpoints, united by purpose. Preparing to make a difference in our divided world. Wherever you are in your life's journey, come learn with us. Begin at Kent State.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
This month is American Heart Month, and keeping with that is knowing how to perform CPR.
But Hayden, did you know you can save someone's life by listening to Dancing Through Life from Wicked?
Nice, I did not know that.
Well, our reporter Nikki Gajeski knows more and has a few other songs too.
Yes, that's right, guys. That's a good song. My personal favorite is Please, Please, Please. However, I learned this through some discussions with the American Heart Association and the Stowe Fire Department.
February is widely known for being the month of love, with hearts everywhere. However, those hearts represent more than just Valentine's Day, as February is also known for CPR awareness.
Put simply, CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. And what this is when you see somebody go into a cardiac emergency, we're encouraging everyone to not be a bystander, but to be a lifesaver.
Caldwell says the way people go from being a bystander to lifesaver is to first call 911, then start CPR by pushing hard and fast on someone's chest. The timeliness and efficiency of these two actions can mean life or death.
Each year in the U.S., more than 350,000 people experience cardiac arrest outside of a hospital setting. And unfortunately, of those people, 90% will not survive. But if performed immediately, CPR could double or triple a person's chance of survival.
To save lives, she advises to lock your arms, interlock your fingers, place them on the sternum, then push hard and do compressions to 100 to 120 beats per minute. The American Heart Association is trying to reach young people and others through their social media posts, showing CPR can be performed to any song.
I know when we're teaching the classes to people, they all reference, oh yeah, the Bee Gees song, I could do that to this. But yeah, with the younger generations, they're kind of like, oh, what's a song that I can pick out?
We want everyone to feel empowered to perform CPR. We're really trying to reach younger people as well. Oh, so you'll see that on Instagram, we're trying to connect with a younger audience.
Check out kentstater.com. For KSTV, I'm Nikki Gajeski.
All right, thank you, Nikki. Ohio confirmed the first probable human case of the bird flu in the state. The department reports that a farm worker in Mercer County has been infected with a case of influenza A H5. Mercer is near the Ohio-Indiana border. Officials say he was in contact with dead birds that were infected with the virus. Ohio leads the nation in bird flu cases, losing nearly 10 million birds at multiple farms. So far, nationwide, 68 people have been diagnosed with the bird flu.
Across the country, baby deaths are on the rise. According to a study in the JAMA Medical Journal, child deaths rose 6% in states where abortion bans were implemented. The study also showed higher numbers of newborns dying from congenital anomalies in the same states. Researchers suggest more women are continuing with their pregnancies despite a terminal diagnosis for the baby.
This is your KSTV weather.
Hi everyone, I'm back with more weather updates. Let's look around the weather around us as we get to the week ahead. Let's get started with our Ohio map. And in Ohio, around Cincinnati, it's 30 degrees. Columbus is 28. And as we get northern, around Toledo, it's 24 degrees. And then in our area, 28 degrees. So it's overall pretty nice weather around us, with a little bit of variety around. And then in closer to us, as you can see in Kent, it's 27 degrees right now. Mansfield is only 25, which is a little bit lower than everywhere else. Sandusky up here is 26 degrees. And as you go over to Youngstown and Ashtabula, it's a little bit colder. And for the most part, it's around the same temperature. As we go towards our extended forecast, as you can see, tonight will be some flurries. And on Valentine's Day, tomorrow, there'll be 28 degrees with pretty much no chance of snow. However, when we get to Saturday and Sunday, as you can see, we'll have a severe weather forecast with a expected snowstorm. However, this snowstorm is not going to be just snow. It's going to be more of a mix between ice, snow, and rain. For the most part, during the middle of the day, it'll be more of a rain, and then at the night, it'll be more of a snow and ice. And then after this, it'll be a cold front that comes in that's going to freeze us down a little bit. That will conclude my weather forecast. Be sure to stay up to date with more weather updates at kentstater.com. Now let's go back to Hayden and Sydney with more weather of the rest of today's newscast.
Thank you again, Ryan. Firings are underway at the Department of Education and Small Business Administration. This comes as part of President Donald Trump and Elon Musk's government efficiency efforts to shrink the federal workforce. Impacted federal employees have been placed on paid administrative leave. The firings come hours after a federal judge allowed the Trump administration's deferred resignation program to proceed. About 75,000 employees have accepted an offer to quit now and get paid through September.
New today, a federal judge extended a hold on the Trump administration's dismantling of U.S. aid for another week. The judge said he will keep a court order in place until next Friday that reinstates U.S. aid workers who were previously placed on paid leave by the administration. This hold also blocks further action that could hurt workers, including those in foreign countries with high security risks. Official rulings are expected by the end of next week.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard are now part of President Trump's cabinet. Gabbard was sworn in as the Director of National Intelligence. Meanwhile, Kennedy is now the Health and Human Services Secretary. The pair was approved 52-48, with every Republican voting yes, except for Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Gabbard and Kennedy were former Democrats and had been seen as two of the most challenging nominees to get through the Senate.
Trump signed an executive action today known as the Fair and Reciprocal Plan. The president ordered federal trade officials to investigate plans for the tariffs and report back with recommendations. One of Trump's core campaign pledges was to help make U.S. goods more marketable and included these tariffs, saying Americans needed to have fairer trade policy. These tariffs will not take effect right away, and the investigation will be complete by April 1st.
Mexico threatened to sue Google after it changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. The tech giant made the adjustment following an executive order from President Trump. President Claudia Sheinbaum says Mexico has sovereignty over its territorial waters, and she expects Google to commit to internationally recognized geographical names. Google has said previously that it applies name changes when they've been updated in official government sources.
At least 20 people were injured in Munich, Germany today after a car drove into a crowd of demonstrators. The incident was near where world leaders were set to meet for the Munich Security Conference. Top diplomats, including Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and Vice President J.D. Vance, will attend the high-level security conference. Police reports show they detained the driver involved and did not consider him a further threat.
Cynthia Erivo is receiving many praises for her portrayal of Elphaba in Wicked Part 1, and she is also receiving awards for her open representation of LGBTQ+ voices.
The Cavs played their last game before the All-Star break up in Toronto. Find out how they swept the Raptors in the season series.
At Kent State University, student athletes from around the world find their home away from home.
My dream has always been to come to the United States and play basketball on a college level.
I'm going to be the first graduate in my family. It's a big thing for me.
The faculty members here at Kent State are incredible.
I feel like Kent State, it has
all the opportunity in the world.
Northeast Ohio is the ideal place for them to excel athletically and academically. From the moment they arrive, students are surrounded by a network of support that helps them thrive and achieve their dreams.
We are a family, so helping each other out is one of the most important things.
Straight away I knew I had people that I could count on. As soon as I got here, between coaches, friends that I met pretty early on, I feel like this is a second home now.
This is the place. This is it.
Coach Starkey, he always asks about how you're doing.
Our coaches are so supportive. They make you better athletes, and so many of those qualities are transferable. You're going to come out of here being a successful student athlete.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
We know you work hard, so come spend your lunch with us at the Bistro on Main. We've been serving the community for 3 generations. Only a quick 10-minute drive from Kent State's campus. Make your breaks count at the Bistro on Main, where friends become family.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
How's it going, Portage County? I'm Anthony Leonardi, and this has been a crazy, exciting week in sports, so let's get right into it, starting right here in Kent, as the Kent State men's basketball team is back in action at the Mack Center tomorrow night, and they will face the Ohio Bobcats. In their last matchup, the Flashes narrowly lost down in Athens by a final score of 59-61. In tomorrow's game, I anticipate that the home crowd will give them that missing energy that they were lacking the first time around. But if you can't make it to the game, do not worry, it will be available on national television on CBS Sports Network. And now we are going to move from the court to the diamond. The Kent State baseball team kicks off their season tomorrow at 1 against Eastern Kentucky in the South Alabama Invitational. This is the first of 3 games that will be played in the tournament, and the next 2 will be played on Saturday against South Alabama and Sunday against the SIUE Cougars. And now we are going to take things north of the border. We are going to Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, and if you watch this game, you know the Cavs were doing their thing. I mean, they were just incredible last night, putting up a lot of points. 7 players, double-digit scoring, but their team leader, Donovan Mitchell, what's new? He's great. Look at him finding the shot and making it just like he always does. He is the most consistent player on this team. Now, this is a prime example of how the Cavs dished out the ball. Everybody's touching the ball. The ball's moving just fine. I mean, like I said, 7 players with double-digit scoring. It's incredible. And folks, you ever wonder why they call him Spida? It's because he's hanging from the rim like Spider-Man. I mean, he is just incredible to watch. This team is extremely hot going into this All-Star break. And now just a little bit of craziness going on in the fourth quarter. Evan Mobley with a slam to finish things off. Add insult to injury as they sweep Toronto 131-108. And sticking with the Cavs, with that win, they advanced to 44-10 on the season right before the All-Star break. The team has 3 total players rostered for this year's All-Star tournament. Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley will be competing together in the Kia Skills Challenge, and Darius Garland will attempt to dethrone last year's three-point contest winner, Damian Lillard. These events will take place on Saturday at 8 p.m. on TNT. And that's going to wrap up my sports report for the night. For more things sports, be sure to check out KentStater.com and tune in for Overtime tomorrow at 7. I'm Anthony Leonardi, KSTV.
Thanks, Anthony. Keeping with sports, the former Giants and now Super Bowl winner with the Eagles spent time with fans ahead of Friday's celebratory parade. We have the details.
Brush, brushy, brush your teeth every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brush your teeth. Reach out, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go! Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns, like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero.
Good job, Kit Kat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
In the Super Bowl, Saquon Barkley met with fans in Bensalem, PA this morning. Hundreds of fans packed into the parking lot of Raising Cane's Chicken for the chance to catch a glimpse of the Philadelphia Eagles superstar. All this comes ahead of the Super Bowl celebratory parade tomorrow. Barkley said he is looking forward to celebrating the victory with the team and fans, but he's already got his sights set on next season.
How sweet. Well, Cynthia Erivo is still defying gravity. The lead actress of Wicked will be honored for raising visibility and promoting acceptance of LGBTQ+ people and issues by GLAAD, a media advocacy organization. She will be honored with the Stephen F. Kolzak Award, which is named after a Los Angeles casting director who devoted the last part of his life to fighting homophobia and HIV stigma. The ceremony is March 27th.
I love Cynthia Erivo.
Yes,
Incredible
and she's
person.
coming to Cleveland
She
or
is.
Blossom
Yes,
this summer.
Blossom. I'm going. I'm very excited.
That is so exciting. And she's performing with the orchestra?
Yes, with the Cleveland Orchestra, yeah.
I just love her, and the movie's obviously
Right,
fantastic.
Of course. And she, I mean, just an incredible career, great activist, just an incredible all-around person. Hopefully, when she's at the show, she'll hit the...
Exactly what I was just going to say.
Right, yeah. But yeah, very excited to see that, but that is going to wrap up our time today. Thank you so much for joining us.
For more stories of your community, visit kentstater.com. I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Hayden Cruz. Have a great night and great Valentine's Day, Portage County.
Go. You feel good about that? No. I'm looking at it right.
And yellow today, feel free to use orange, feel free to use green, feel free whatever you want to do. These are what I have in my refrigerator.
Students, especially those that are in CCI fondly enough, are going to be visiting there quite often. But does their reward program
Kent State University's Marcello Fantoni has served on the scientific committee of the Palace of Versailles for the past decade. Through this prestigious position, Fantoni creates worldwide connections, helping Kent State students and faculty realize one-of-a-kind global experiences.
Today, Kent State University is a global university. We have a presence in every single continent of this planet. If we send our Ohio students all over the world and bring their experiences back, we create the conditions in Ohio for a much healthier and stronger development of the entire state. When you come back and you have more tools in your brain, more options for solutions, you are a more talented, a more versatile professional. And this is what the market wants today. The future of higher education is global.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food.
An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they